आज मेरे ख्याल मुलाकात हम सबसे है तो इंट्रोडक्शन की जरूरत तो नहीं है, यानी कि खालिद साहब हैं, मैंने ख्याल इंट्रोडक्शन
कुछ लोग नए हैं लेकिन इंट्रोड्यूस माय सेल्फ। आई एम यूनिट मैनेजर इन फाइनेंस इन FBL Power Company Limited. I've been serving the industry for the past 22 years and I have a background of working with financial institutions, financial modeling and trading. So today, am I audible? कि सबको आवाज आ रही है?
Yes sir.
पीछे आवाज नहीं आ रही थी,
आगे आ रही है। आज हम फाइनेंशियल मॉडलिंग के बारे में आपको थोड़ा सा ब्रीफ आउटलुक देंगे। इट इज़ नॉट वेरी कम्बरसम, बहुत ज़्यादा डिफिकल्ट चीज़ नहीं है, लेकिन इसके लिए थोड़ी सी आपको अंडरस्टैंडिंग की ज़रूरत है कि अकाउंटिंग और फाइनेंस के अंदर कौन सी टर्म्स यूज़ होती हैं। बिकॉज ये दुनिया सारी में स्टैंडर्डाइज टर्म्स है जो आपको यूज़ करनी होती है, जस्ट बिकॉज कि एवरीवन इन एनीवेयर इन द वर्ल्ड कैन रिकग्नाइज के व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट। अगर हम अपनी टर्म्स को इस्तेमाल करेंगे तो हो सकता है हमारे मुताबिक उसकी इंटरप्रिटेशन डिफरेंट हो और बाकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस या बाकी डिपार्टमेंट्स के लिए, बाकी इंक्यूबेटर सेंटर्स के लिए या फाइनेंशियल मैनेजर्स के लिए टर्म्स डिफरेंट हो। इसलिए सारी दुनिया में इंटरनेशनल अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं। उन स्टैंडर्ड की बेसिस के ऊपर हमने इन सारी चीज़ों को अलाइन करना होता है। तो आज हम सबसे पहले ये देखें, अब देखिए फाइनेंशियल मॉडल क्या चीज़ है। आपने बहुत सारे लोग अपनी फैमिली में, फ्रेंड्स में, हर जगह पर देखे होंगे कि लोग आते हैं और कुछ बिजनेस शुरू करते हैं और फिर बाद में कहते हैं कि यार ये बिजनेस चल नहीं सका, हमें उसमें लॉस हो। अब उस लॉस को कैसे मिटिगेट किया जा सकता है और मिनिमाइज किया जा सकता है कि हमारा बिजनेस उन चीज़ों से सेफ गार्ड रहे जिनके लिए हमने ये बिजनेस स्टैब्लिश किया। मेन पर्पस ऑफ डूइंग द बिजनेस इज कि हमने प्रॉफिट अर्न करना है, हमने पैसे कमाने हैं अपनी इन्वेस्टमेंट से या किसी लोन फंडेड से या सीड से किसी से बोरो करके हमने पैसे कमाने हैं। अब फाइनेंशियल मॉडलिंग के अंदर आपका कोई दोस्त या फ्रेंड वगैरह आता है और आपको कहता है कि लेट्स स्टार्ट अ बिजनेस, तो आप बिजनेस को कैसे वैल्यूएट करेंगे कि बिजनेस करना चाहिए या नहीं करना चाहिए, या उसको करने के लिए अगर हमने किसी और बैंकर के पास जाना है या किसी फ्रेंड या कोलीग के पास जाना है कि यार हमें पैसे चाहिए इस काम को करने के लिए, तो आपको कुछ ना कुछ उसकी आउटले बतानी पड़ेगी कि बिजनेस है क्या, कर क्या रहा है और इसके अंदर कितने पैसे बचे। द मेन पर्पज इज टू अर्न मनी, लेकिन उसको प्रेजेंट कैसे करना है, बनाना कैसे है, ये हम आपको आज बताते हैं इसके बारे में। तो आज हम 5 चीज़ों के बारे में ब्रीफली टच अपॉन करेंगे कि मॉडल होता क्या है, मॉडल किस जगह पर इस्तेमाल होता है, उसके यूजेस क्या हैं, क्यों ये इम्पोर्टेंट है, और उसके बाद बनता कैसे है, और दुनिया सारी में मोस्ट कॉमनली यूज मॉडल्स कौन कौन से हैं, किस तरह वो काम करते हैं और उनके अंदर क्या डिपिक्शन दी जाती है और क्या प्रेजेंट किया जाता है, और हम कैसे मॉडलिंग को सीख सकते हैं अपने बिजनेस को एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए। अब मॉडल सबसे पहली बात तो ये है कि एक समरी होती है कंपनी की फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स को बताती है। नाउ व्हाट इज फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट? फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में 3 मेजर चीज़ें होती हैं। एक आपका प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट, आपने क्या कमाया क्या गवाया, प्रॉफिट कहते हैं मुनाफे को, लॉस कहते हैं नुकसान को। एक स्टेटमेंट बनाई जाती है उस बिजनेस की ऑपरेशंस के बारे में। कोई भी आप बिजनेस ले लें, फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आप एक बिजनेस है जिसके अंदर आप मोबाइल फ़ोन के पाउच बनाते हैं, उस मोबाइल फ़ोन के पाउच बनाने के लिए आपको क्या चीज़ें दरकार हैं, उसके क्या अखराजात हैं, उसमें टैक्सेशन क्या जो है वो इम्पैक्ट करेगी, और आप क्या एट द एंड ऑफ द मंथ या ईयर या क्वार्टर क्या उसके ऊपर अर्न करेंगे। सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट वी विल अंडरस्टैंड एंड नीड टू लर्न अबाउट व्हाट इज प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस स्टेटमेंट। फिर उसके बाद होता है जी एक कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट। अब व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन प्रॉफिट लॉस एंड कैश फ्लो? अब प्रॉफिट का तो मतलब ये है कि आपने एक महीने के अंदर से 50 पाउच बेच दिए। अब वो 50 पाउच बेच दिए तो क्या उन 50 पाउच के पैसे भी आ गए? तो बहुत सारे आपके सेल्स कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इस तरह के होते हैं जिसमें यू डोंट सेल ऑन कैश बेसिस, यू सेल ऑन क्रेडिट बेसिस। तो व्हाट इज क्रेडिट? क्रेडिट कहते हैं आपने सेल तो कर दी लेकिन उसके पैसे यू डोंट रिकवर द मनी इमीडिएटली, यू नो द मनी विल बी रिसीव्ड समवेयर इन द फ्यूचर टाइम। अब आपकी कैश फ्लो जो प्रॉफिट लॉस स्टेटमेंट है वो तो ये बता रही होगी कि यू हैव सोल्ड 100 यूनिट्स ऑफ द पाउचेस बट यू डिडंट गेट द मनी। अब प्रॉफिट लॉस स्टेटमेंट विल शो यू कि दिस 100 यूनिट्स ऑफ मनी विल कॉस्ट यू दिस एंड यू विल अर्न द प्रॉफिट x amount of the profit. But did you receive the money, the total money? उस पैसे को how would you map that? कि cash flow आपका क्या था और आपने profit and loss या sale आपने क्या की? Now, the cash flow statement differentiates between the cash that you have earned and the actual cash that you have received. समझ आ रही है बात? लेकिन ना फर्क दोनों में है. आपने कोई चीज़ कैश पे बेची, फॉर एग्जाम्पल जिस तरह फिलिंग स्टेशन या पेट्रोल पंप का बिजनेस है, उसके अंदर आप जब भी जाते हैं आप कैश पे करते हैं, यू गेट दैट फ्यूल फिल्ड इन योर बाइक और कार व्हाटएवर एनी व्हीकल दैट यू हैव. लेकिन कुछ ऐसे बिजनेसेस हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल देयर इज अ ग्रोसरी स्टोर एंड यू हैव अ क्रेडिट line with them, or you buy and go the goods.
Credit card.
Credit cards is a good example. You don't pay the cash immediately, right? So there is a monthly cycle of a billing. You get the card charge on the filling station. That filling station bill to the bank. Bank will pay them the cash immediately, but they don't get the cash from you immediately. At the month end, they'll make you the statement. They'll send you the statement that this is the amount of money that you have spent during the month. Now you are required to pay us the money in X number of days, say 10 days after 15 to 20 days. So that is the difference between the profit and loss account and the cash flow. So you need to understand that what is the cash that you require for the operations of the business and what is the profit that you are earning. So these two statements are different statements. Profit and loss account, profit at the end of the month or a quarter or a semi-annual period does not actually relate to the money that you have in your bank account.
And that is very important. You should be very clear that a business is profitable in numbers. You are earning, but actually due to the credit cycle, the money is coming back to you in 3 months. So you need so much money for operation that for every month, for first month, operating cost is assume 1 crore rupees. So you have invested 1 crore, it is converted to sale, but you didn't get the money. So the next month you again need 10 million rupees to produce more product and sell them in the market. The next month you again invest 10 million rupees, and it is when it is in the credit. The third month you will invest 10 million rupees. Now the cycle is complete, but then you will not get the first 10 million rupees. You may get 5 million or 6 million. Some people will hold it back. They will not pay at time. So the business has two important things. One, it should be number it might be profitable, but the money required for the operating.
That's like okay.
So basically, you should understand the business might be profitable, but how much money is required? The operating cost is so much. The money in the credit is going. So much money is going. That you will after a few months, the business owner has no more money to put in the business. And number it is profitable. They are earning money, but they don't have the money to operate to move the business forward. For the next month, they don't have the money to go forward. So you have to know that what is my operating cycle, how long it will take that if the money is coming back to me. And for all these periods.
In simple words, you are providing services to party X, right? And you have a fixed cost. There are two types of fixed cost. Normally there are utilities, these are the rents, and the administration cost, the number of people that you have hired for doing that business, right? So you have a party to which you are selling the software. That software, the receivable amount or the billing cycle is 30 days from the delivery of the product to them, right? Now the first month you have completed one cycle and you have billed to the customer. Now at the end of the month you need to pay the cost, the salaries, the rent and the utilities. If you do not have the money that is coming into your business for the product that you have sold, you need more money to pay it off. You cannot say to your workers that today we are not paying you, we will pay you next month because we have a credit cycle of 30 days. No. So that means the cash flow will tell you that what is the money that you require to keep your business running until the cash is received against your sales. Have I made myself clear? So the money or the cash flow depicts and predicts that what is the cash that you have required, that how far and how long you will get the money for the products or the services that you have sold. But before the receipt of that money, you have to make the cash available for the business to keep it in the running cycle. Okay? So let's move forward. What the model that is a combination of accounting, finance, and the matrix of the company's future results. What are future results? You start a business, and today you know that you will be able to get one contract of selling your services to the next party. And the term of that contract is say 6 months. What after the 6 months, what is your plan? So you need to chart that plan on the paper to see what is the future outlook of your business. Would you be able to get another contract in those 6 months period in which you are actually delivering that services, or would you be able to get or complete or hunt the new contract after the expiry of that services? So you need to map that cash flow or the profit and loss account for another 3 to 5 years to see that the business that you are doing is successful and sustainable in the long run or not. So the modeling will tell you that what is the percentage of growth that you need to undertake in your business, what are the assumptions that you are taking. For example, every year there is a inflation in the market, and there is a scarcity of the human resource, and your human resource cost for a month say is 100,000 rupees a month. And tomorrow the inflation goes up and there is a shortfall in the human resource, that you need to undertake and evaluate that what is the inflation number that you need to put into your business, and what is the number of the growth in the value of revenues that you require to keep the business sustainable. Likewise, if you keep the business at the same price for another 6 months, the selling price would be the same, but the inflation number goes up, what would happen? At the end of the day or at the end of the year, you will be making loss in the business because the cost has gone up and the revenue remains the same. So you need to plot those assumptions into the model, that what is the growth in the revenue that you need to arrive at the profit at the same time, or you need to grow your business at what percentage. And those assumptions, they should be very realistic to the market. Profit on the paper or the model doesn't work. The assumptions that you take to make those statements or the model, they are very important, right? So this financial modeling will tell you that what are the numbers and what is the capital that you require, how much money do you need, what is the projection numbers, and to keep your business in operation. There should be the model is a structured approach, despite of having it in your mind, and there is a weird idea that you have in your mind, and carrying it with you. That is a risk to the business. So you need to write down the assumption. That should be a structured approach. The assumptions that you are taking should be dynamic. It should be linked to the market behavior and sentiments and economic condition of the area that you are going to business. And then the relationship between the several variables, and it shows the forecast and scenarios. And what are the scenarios? If you have made a business plan for say 5 years, and what if those assumptions that you have taken to build that model changes during the course of the business? So you need to develop scenarios, and what if the cost of the electricity goes up, say with 10% annually, but then you come to know that due to the economic conditions in the country, the cost of electricity has gone up by 30%. So the assumptions that you would take for building the model should be dynamic, and they should be developed in such a way that the model should be updated as and when there is a major change in assumptions. You always take these assumptions by keeping some margin in these assumptions. Let's suppose that inflation in the country for goods and services goes up. Let's move on. So this is the financial model. Then financial model, why is it used? As I've just briefed.
Anyone who know why we are using financial models?
I've just explained a moment ago why these models are used for. Do you have any idea? Sir?
Basically, I think on the basis of the outcomes or on the basis of results, आप आगे future decide कर सकें कुछ चीजें और मतलब
To predict the future
बेहतर
results
decision ले
of the model. Anyone else?
To get the idea of loss and profit.
To get the idea of profit and loss, very good.
To check the operating cycle of the operation.
Absolutely wonderful. I think you are getting what we are trying to deliver. So the model, it is used to raise the capital. When you are making the model, that will tell you that with the assumptions that you have taken for your business, how far and how long it goes and what is the money that you require. So every time, there are two types of revenue sources, always when you start a business. One is your own money, one is the loan that you get. There are two sources of the money, right? The own money is called the equity, right? The shareholders fund. Because the person who is setting up the business is the owner or the shareholders, a group of people who join together to seed the money, to put the money into the business. But what if, going forward, your business model tells you that you need more money to reach these desired results? So where would you get the money? Again, there are two sources. Either you have to put your own money more into the business to get those results, or you go for a loan from a friend, from a financial institution, from a bank, or any other source that you feel is good for developing this business. So this tells you how to raise the capital, what is the amount of the capital that you need to go on. This acquisitions and mergers, for example, you have a business that you have started for, let's take an old example of selling pouches. So there is a business who is into designing of those pouches. So what would you do is, and they are also into the business for another, let's say, 5 years or so, for the past 5 years. So the business model is also used to evaluate and ascertain that whether this model is required, whether this business is required to be undertaken, or I should not be, just putting the more money to buy that business. So acquiring the business, the mergers, the acquisitions, that is also expanding, diversifying the business, selling or divesting assets and businesses here. So it also tells you that you have installed few machines or equipments to manufacture something. So this model will also tell you that whether you want to keep that machine with you or you have to get rid of that machine to keep your business operation. That's a fixed cost that you are, the cost of maintaining the machine is high as opposed to the output of the machine. So you will have to evaluate that what assets that you are carrying with you, and does it need to be carried on into the business? You have to lay it off or sell it off. And then budgeting, forecasting, planning that we have just discussed, and the financial statement analysis. Now, what is financial statement analysis? Just explain and brief to you that profit and loss account and the cash flow. These are two financial statements which depicts the health of your business, the output of your business, and the profitability and the loss of the business that you will be incurring. So analysis of the ratio means that what is the cost that you are incurring into the business, what is the percentages of the revenue that you need to increase, or how would you rearrange the cost and the profitability so that you can arrive to the desired results. So by assumption, the changing of the assumptions, you will be able to understand that what is the behavior of your business in terms of the costs and the revenues, right? Now, who build financial models? There are lots of businesses and organizations that they require these financial models. On the right side, you can see that there are four major areas in which it is divided. One are the banks, institutions, public accounting, and the corporates. So the banks use these models for their sales, their trading, their research, and their investment banking. Now, investment banking is the area in the bank who evaluate and decides for the lending of the business. That what is the requirement of the business, how correctly the assumptions are plotted, and what is the risk and reward in the business, that if we invest into the business, that would we be able to get our money back, or if this business is deemed to be flop and we should not be going into the investment into that business. So investment banking, private equity firms, portfolio management companies. Portfolio management companies are those companies who are managing the business cycle or the investments of any organization. They advise you that where the money is to put in, which equity or shares that you should buy for the other companies to get the profit more than what is being offered into the banking system. And they advise you to diversify your investment. Now, what is diversification of investment? Say you have 100,000 rupees within you, and that is the spare money that you have. So there are many options that you can put that money in. Either you keep that money into your locker and don't get that money into the rolling, and at the end of the year you will find out that the money when I put into the locker, I would be able to buy a good you can say a laptop for that 100,000, and you just kept it into the locker and didn't do anything about that money. After 1 year, the urge or the requirement arises and you need to buy the laptop. So would you be able to buy the laptop of the same quality or the same specs or the better specs which is rightly available in the market from the same amount of the money that you have saved into the locker for after the end of the year? No. Why?
Because of inflation?
Yes.
Absolutely.
The prices fluctuate a lot.
Absolutely. Because the value of the money depreciates with time, especially if you talk about the Pakistani market. So there is a double-digit inflation in our country, which does not allow you to buy that same kind of equipment at the end of the year. So you need to, so we were talking about the diversification. If you put that money into a bank account, which is a profit-bearing bank account, right? So you'll be able to get, say, 10% at the end of the year. So the money that will grow with the period of time is 10%, which is around 10,000 rupees. So at the end of the year, you'll have 110,000 for the same amount of the money that you had in the beginning of the year. There is another option that this portfolio management companies will do. They will advise you the best options available in the market, which have a minimum risk. So there is a common a thumb rule that higher the risk, higher the profit, lower the risk, lower the profit, right? But you have to be very vigilant that the money that you are putting in is at what percentage is exposed to the loss that you will make. Risky investments will always grow more than the submissive investment, like you put the money into the bank. So the portfolio companies, they advise you that you have $100,000. Let's split it into 3 parts. You keep that 30,000 rupees into the bank account. So we give you a cushion of the money that you have available at the end of the month. Say it will grow by 10%. And then the second option, they will advise you that you go and buy the shares of any company which is a growing company, and they normally declare dividend or at the end of the year their profit grows by 25%. Right? And then the third option they might give you that you buy some equipment or small kind of a thing for the trading purposes. You invest the rest of the $40,000 into that trading commodity, and tomorrow we will be able to get, say, 30% profit on that. So that's how the whole sum of the money, which is again 100,000 rupees, you will be able to diversify that money and get more profit at the end of the year despite of putting that money into the bank. So putting the money into the bank may give you at the max 10%, but diversifying the money will give you more profit than the bank rate, which is obviously will be able to cater for the inflation that you will be expecting at the end of the year. Right? We'll be having we'll be having a 10-minute tea break. It is 11:12, and we'll be back by 11:25. Right? Thank you. It is served outside.
अच्छा चीज़ है
जो शीट पर नहीं करता कुशवार के बड़ा मास्टर है शीट पर नहीं करता लोड है अभी सबसे पहले आपका बिजनेस मॉडल है रोबस्ट है खाना रिस्की है ये तरीके से एडजस्ट करो तो आपको बिजनेस होता है आप मॉडल कैसे अच्छा वो कैसे लेते हैं लोन नहीं देते हो लेकिन आप हमें 10% का हिस्सा आप बता दो
हम आपके साथ शराकत में आ जाते हैं लोन का किया लोन का होता है लोन में आपने हर साल उसके ऊपर सूद देना और फिर वो आपने वो जो अमाउंट असल ली होती है वो भी वापस करनी होती तो वो ना बिजनेस में थ्रेट बन जाता है कि हम इतने पैसे तो कमाने कमाने कि हम लोन भी दे सकें उसको भी दे सकें इतने फिर आपके साथ इक्विटी में आ जाते हैं वो कहते हैं ठीक है हम बिजनेस करेंगे जहाँ पे आपका बिजनेस चलता है इक्विटी आएगी वो आपको और जो पैसे कमाएंगे उसमें हम आपका इक्विटी पार्टनर बन गए ना उन्होंने आपके साथ सारी चीजें देख के आपके साथ रिस्क खेला लेकिन
लोन वापस करना पड़ेगा।
लोन वापस करना
लोन अगर आप लेते वापस करने इक्विटी वापस करें स्टार वाले आपके पास इक्विटी डालो। अगर आपका बिजनेस खत्म हो गया रोड बैक हो गया नहीं चला तो कुछ नहीं होगा। हाँ चल गया तो किसी 20% इक्विटी है जो आप कमाए तो उसका 20% आपके पास जाएगा। इस तरह होता है।
सबसे पहले तो आपको मार्केट आइडेंटिफाई करनी है कि मोबाइल कितने हैं जो पाकिस्तान में जिस एरिया में आप बेचने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं आप कितने लोग मोबाइल फोन इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं फिर उसमें से आप देखेंगे कि उसमें से कैटेगराइज करेंगे कि हायर मोबाइल फोन से लोअर मोबाइल फोन से यूज़ कर रहे हैं जब तक आपके पास डेटा नहीं होगा तब तक आप नहीं बता सकते कि मार्केट को कैप्चर कर सकते
ना वो तो अपनी बात है
होगा क्या आप आपके बिजनेस को कम्पैक्ट